Hello.
Hey guys.
Hi everyone. We have special guests today. Hi. Come in, join us. Mindfulness, Mona, Mina, and Karen.
Hey David.
Hey David.
Welcome back.
Hi Gloria. I'm about to say hey Mina. We have special guests today. Chavez and Ronell. Talk about relationships. So how y'all doing?
Good.
Say your name.
You just told them.
Tell it again. You say it.
Ronell.
Hi.
Hi Joseph.
Come on in. Giving you some time to come in. Today we're talking about relationships. All relationships. We welcome everyone. Hey Linda.
How can y'all see so far away? I can't see none of that.
Hi Crystal. Miss Atmosphere. We also would like you to call in if you would like to.
It's in the description.
It's in the description below. Also, I would let you know the number if you need to. Just you already put it in, right?
Yeah, it's in the description.
It's in the description
But
below.
we were told to say it out loud, which is
And this is only to call in for tonight. Whenever we on, we will give you a number to call in just for the show. The number is 347-248-6281. Again, 347-248-6281.
hi Laneta. Gotta say the name. Hey guys.
I think it's Hi everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Mindfulness with Mona.
Mina.
Karen.
And we have some special guests today, which is Chavez and Ronell.
Hi.
We're
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for showing up. We're talking about relationships, and we have them here today. So we're going to start off with, we're going to do our meditation first, because we have to start it off with it. That's what you said every time. Okay, so we have a meditation that we do before we start our show, so everybody can be relaxed. It's an exercise, sorry. So everybody can be relaxed and clear their mind and be relaxed and open up to anything you need. And we're only going to do it for
It's a whole 3 minutes.
like a whole 3 minutes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to sit up straight, put our hands on our laps. What?
It's this one.
Oh, okay.
Listen, you make up your mind.
Go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
can put your hands on your laps or on your head. You can put them wherever you want to. But today, it's going to be the 5 senses exercise, which will be, first thing you're going to do is think of 5 things. Look at 5 things you can see. Those are 5 things that you're supposed to notice. 5 things you can see. I got a light, picture, sangria, and is that a speaker? Mm-hmm. And a speaker. I thought so. And the nice lady that noticed I only saw 4. So that's 5 things. And then you take time, take a small, shallow breath like that. Breathe in, let it out slowly, and remember the 5 things, and then let them go completely. They need to just go away. The next thing is, what are 4 things you can feel? I can feel my knees. I can feel the table. I can feel on Karen. I can feel Mona's tablet. How many I got? my knees.
You got her
I
thinking.
got four. Okay, take that same deep breath, let it out, and let go of the 4 things you can feel. The next thing is 3 things you can hear. I hear the fan. I heard somebody chime in. I don't hear anything else. Oh, Mona just cleared her throat. 3 things. There we go. Okay. And deep breath. Let it out. Let go of those 3 things. Then the next thing is the 2 things you can smell. I smell acetone from when I took off my nail polish. And I smell my upper lip. Smells like cough drops. But could be worse. Deep breath. Let it out. Let go of those 2 things. And the last thing is, what can you taste in your mouth? I'm not going to tell y'all what I taste.
Hi, Tam.
What you want? Cough drop. See, it's a cough drop kind of day. All right. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And center. That was our mindful, I don't know how unstressful it was, but our mindful exercise. Now on to Mona. First, we're going to introduce what we're doing.
Oh, well, sorry. Today we're
Here she goes.
hey.
Go ahead.
Today's topic is about relationships, all relationships. Dealing with regular relationships, kids relationships, parents relationship, couples relationships, marriage relationship, cats relationship, dogs relationship, because those are family too. So we all are going to ask a couple of questions and quotes about relationships, and we're going to get some feedback from everyone. Hopefully we could get some people to call in and talk about it. Also, we're going to have Chavez and Ronell talk to them and ask them a couple of questions about their relationship and everything, and it's going to be fun, right?
Yeah.
I think it will be.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to enjoy. We're going to have a good time. Okay, so.
If you say so.
I know, right? They like, yeah, okay. Kind of scaring me here.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to start off.
So the definition of a relationship is, I'm going to use 3 because one of them actually just talks about work, although relationship is with your work. One of them is the state of being connected by blood or marriage. So your children or your husband or your wife. The other was the way in which 2 or more people are organized and regard and behave towards each other. So we have good relations in our country before we had 45. You dig? Okay. Then the last one is an emotional and sexual association between 2 people. That can be a lover, that can be a partnership, it can be even a informal bromance. Those are different types of relationships. Most of the relationships that we are talking about are the ones that you make connections with for long term. Some relationships are shorter, some relationships are longer, but those are the relationships we're talking about. Unfortunately, not every relationship lasts, not every relationship goes well. So we will be talking about, after Karen discusses different things about relationships, we'll be discussing the stages of grieving when those relationships don't work and ways to get over depression or loss of a relationship. Okay.
We just want to make sure you hear us. Can you just give us a wave or a thumbs up just to make sure as we continue going on about relationships?
Yes, can everyone hear us?
They can hear us. We're good.
Okay.
Hey, Sheila.
Hi, Sheila.
All right, after thinking about our topic for this week, I decided to talk about Psychology 101, nature versus nurture. If you've been watching the show, I've always said that I've been quiet in relations in regards to other people. I've always been known to be the quiet one. But it got me to thinking, am I quiet because that's my nature, or is it because I was around a bunch of crazy people that I just didn't want to talk? So I just came to the conclusion that I believe it's a combination of the two. I'm naturally quiet, but again, like I said before, my mother was bipolar, didn't like to take her medicine. We didn't know she was bipolar at the time. We just thought she was a mean mother. And then most of the women in my family are very strong women, and all the poor men always sat in the corner, and the women ran the show. And I vowed to never be that type of woman. And I went the opposite direction, which unfortunately is not good either, because you got to talk in relationships. So that was really what I wanted to say. Was I tried to figure out, am I quiet by nature, or is it because I was conforming myself to the people around me? And I discovered that conforming to other people is not healthy. Got to be able to express yourself, and you don't alter your behavior based on somebody else's behavior. We're gonna move on.
Okay. Now we're gonna start our interview with Javea and Ronell. No, you're fine.
We can hear you
you're good.
clearly.
Yeah, we good. Okay, Okay, we're gonna ask that one first.
Okay.
This is for Javea and Ronell. We would like to ask you a couple of for your advice. Like maybe in your relationship, maybe you want to share something that can help other people, maybe in a relationship. All right, Tawana. Mina, sorry.
We'll start off with this one. Okay. In a relationship, the biggest problem is communication. When we don't listen to understand, we listen to reply. What do you think?
We just recently been through this. I mean, not that we're not gonna ever go through it again, but I feel like it's more of if it's affecting your daily routine, that it's something that you need to speak on, and that's what I did. And I felt like, I felt like I couldn't get what I wanted to say out without it being an argument. So what I did was one day when he went to work and I was home, I wrote a letter and I wrote out everything that I felt I wanted to say to him, and I couldn't get it past that, initial point without the yelling and screaming. And then when he came home, I just let him read it. I said, read it, and then reply. Like, go in the next room, read it to yourself, the whole thing in its entirety, and then come back and reply. And that's
I meant to go that way so we can see him.
Yeah, I tend to like hold things in a lot, so I don't communicate as well as I should. But I've been working on that. So like you said, communication is definitely key in a relationship, in any relationship. Doesn't matter, sexual, romance, whatever you have, family member, whatever. But communication is definitely key. It can be hard for some people, like myself, but it can be worked on.
Did me writing the letter work for you?
It did, actually. It did. I did appreciate that. Because I actually used to write when I was younger. I wrote a couple letters to you, so it does help. But yeah. So it did help though. It did help.
In what ways do you think it helped for your communication?
Like,
No, I know how it helped, but you felt like you could actually say what you needed to say.
like she said, like if she was to say something, she didn't want it to be like turn to an argument. So I would take anything and just like, raise my voice a little more, like unnecessarily. But she was just trying to get a point across. So me reading is like, I'm not. I guess I don't hear a tone or anything.
That's confrontational.
And yeah,
Right,
I
right,
can say
right.
that I am very loud and confrontational when I'm trying to get my point across. So I did have a part in that as well. And then I also like once I feel like you're not letting me talk or I'm not getting through to you or you're starting to yell, now I'm starting to yell back at you and now it's an argument. And when that wasn't being to you. So
So
Just give us thumbs up if you can hear us, because I know they're coming from the back, so we just want to make sure y'all can hear everything.
the next question is actually a statement and how you feel about this statement. It says relationships fail because people take their own insecurities and try and twist them onto their partners. What do you think?
I feel like it's true. It is very true. And it took I guess it takes you knowing that they are insecurities and dealing with them yourself and learning to deal with them yourself without the help of someone, you know.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. You're basically saying that the first relationship you need to deal with is the one with yourself. Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
agree.
True. Okay. An argument is always about what has been made more important than the relationship.
Agree or no? Right now?
Argument has been made more important.
I'll read it again. An argument is always about what has been made more important than the relationship.
So the argument you think is more important than the relationship? Your relationship, you think?
No, I think what they're trying to say is like whatever you're arguing about is being that you feel like something else is more important than the actual
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
That's exactly
thing. It's right. And that's what it is because the last argument that we had was he always wanted to go out with his friends. And it's not like I had a problem with it, but it's like I feel like you weren't putting in the same amount of effort and time into our relationship just because we live together. Like, you know, we see each other, we eat dinner, we go to sleep, so he felt like that was enough for the actual relationship. And I'm like, okay, we can't just live together, but every time your friends call you and you want to do, you know, guys night and this and I'm not invited. And so I felt like that was at the time more important than me.
Absolutely.
Nice. Nice.
I like her. Okay. All right. The last one is we should never permit ourselves to let anyone treat us unfairly. The same way we wouldn't allow them to treat our children, we wouldn't want a person to treat us. What do you think?
Sorry,
Can you repeat it?
one more time?
Okay.
Sorry.
No,
So we should never permit ourselves to let anyone treat us unfairly. The same way we wouldn't allow them to treat our children unfairly. So I think it should be worded the same way you want your children to be treated, or to see how you should be treated, is the opposite of how you would allow somebody to treat you negatively. I said that
So
backwards. I
say
think I just
like,
made a
okay,
riddle.
so just say if you had kids, which these two don't. But say if you had kids and you was in a relationship and y'all are in a relationship, but you had a child, and just say vice versa, he was treating you a certain way or she was treating you a certain way, and your child is watching this. But you know this is not good. Number one, you don't want your child to think that this is how you're supposed to be treated from a man or a woman.
Normal. Yeah.
You understand? So would you allow to be treated disrespectful if you don't want your child to be treated that way in a relationship? Because a lot of people out there, not all, but some people feel like I'm in a relationship, me and my mate is not getting along, but I love my mate so much that I'm gonna take the abuse, I'm gonna take the hurt and the pain and
Disregard.
all of that, and disregard about my kids hearing and seeing and like, even though they're not coming to you and saying, "Mommy, what's wrong?" but they're watching, and they're hearing. do you think, like I said, some people out there, they not, I love you so much, I mean, they're going to be okay. I'm not going to go talk to my kids and be like, you know, mommy's fine, you understand? Do you feel like, would that be something in you, if y'all ever had kids, would that be a thing where in your relationship and y'all arguing and fighting in front of them is something that will be allowed?
I know.
Or
Somebody said fix the mic. Can you not hear us?
The fan is
Oh,
hold on, can't hold that. Sorry, hold on.
sorry, we're working on it. Is that better? Hello. Hello. Speak if you can hear us. Thumbs up if you can hear us.
Sorry, we had some fans going. Probably couldn't hear us. If you can hear, thumbs up, wave, smile.
If that's better, I'm going to continue with the real life example of what we just talked about, arguing in front of your children. Toward the end of my 16-year marriage, the arguing got so bad, my 13-year-old daughter turned to me and said, "Mommy, now that was bad. I don't know, y'all know you love daddy, but," I'm like, "Well, wait a minute, what you talking about?" So it made me think, really reevaluate whether I was going to continue in the marriage or not. And at this point, I'm happily divorced. So
she didn't.
I didn't continue in that abusive relationship because it was affecting my daughter. I didn't want my daughter to think just because the man paid the bills, you live with them, and it was okay to just be mistreated. No. Oh, good. You can hear us. That's great.
Yay. She says scream. We don't want to scream, Kimura.
Kamora, we're going to beat you up.
We miss you, though. We do miss you. So, with the questions, we'd like to know if you have any questions regarding any type of relationship.
That last question, yeah, I don't think it's not healthy for a child to see that like some parents they'll argue in front of their kid and like they'll think nothing of it, but the kids like sponges, so they'll take that in and and what if they're the type to not even come to you like how her daughter did, and they got that soaked in forever. So that might mess their life up too. Like that's just, it's not good. Like argument is gonna happen, but like screaming and physical and verbal abuse, like that just you can't do that.
I also, like personally, I believe like a lot of adults think kids are not as smart as adults. Like we know everything, we don't know what's going on. I don't believe that because I've seen, my nieces and my nephews pick up on things that you don't realize that you're doing or saying, and they're understanding it in, the terms that we understand it in. So it's like that's the time where they're learning everything. So you don't want to teach them bad habits that are hard to break when they're adults because And then also I believe like sometimes it's out of our control, when and where things happen. Agreed. But it's also worth a conversation, with the child, like if you can communicate that. Because there are a lot of times like with my parents, and I'm seeing arguments or I'm seeing things happen and I'm like, okay, I have no clue what's going on. But if somebody would have came to me and said, hey, this, that, and the third, I probably would have, understood what was going on. They just say this is what adults do. So then when you grow up, you think, okay, well, if I'm not arguing, then maybe
it ain't right.
It's a relationship. But, you don't know that, okay, we're arguing because we're having an issue that we're trying to resolve, and sometimes we be loud and, a little over the top. I think that would raise some better adults.
Agreed. Good answer.
We also teach people how to treat us, whether good or bad.
Earlier you were speaking about what the difference between what control actually is. And in a lot of these relationships, and I'm talking family, friends, lovers, a lot of relationships are broken because of a control factor. What did you say control was?
Control is actually when you alter your own personal behavior to appease someone else.
So it's not the person doing it. It's how you internalize and fix yourself to actually go with that sort of push. Example.
For me, like I said before, I grew up in a household where my mother was bipolar. So we used to walk on eggshells just not to upset her. So I grew up in that household and I married a man and had the same mentality. Let me just keep quiet. Keep it quiet. And don't make waves and everything will be fine. But no, it wasn't fine. I ended up having a stroke at 35, so it's got to come out some kind of way. Got to express yourself one way or the other. And when you don't speak up, you become a doormat. And that's just unhealthy, not good at all. And you don't realize you're being controlled. If someone hits you, I always said, if he hit me, I'll be gone. But because it was so subtle, I ended up staying for 16 years, but that's okay. Got 2 beautiful children out the deal. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just this being on camera is very. I'm looking at myself, and it's just ooh.
You look beautiful. Stop.
That has nothing to do with that. I'm just saying.
Well, look, my shirt is all over the place.
I'm just saying. When I say you teach people how to treat you, when you don't speak up, people just assume. I never forget one time I was watching TV. I never said change the channel. I want to watch something else. I always watched whatever he wanted to watch. One night I was laying in the bed. He came home from work, changed the channel. I was like, what in the world? Then you see I was watching, but for 5, 6 years, I didn't never say a thing. So why would he ask me? I never said anything. Why would he ask me, do you mind? Because I never said anything. But that was like, oh my God, I'm showing this man, just do whatever you want. She's not going to say nothing. But no, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. Speak your mind. Would it invoke say free your mind, and the rest will follow.
Okay, joining us now is my babe, Net, and we're gonna ask, as we are a couple. So we're gonna share something with us. So Mina gonna ask us something, and we're gonna let you know.
Okay.
Them to how long they were dating before they became a couple.
Oh yeah, that was one of the questions.
Mhm.
How long had you known each other before you started to date, and how long were you dating before you became a couple? Same question for you.
Love at first sight or what?
Not for him.
It usually is, y'all.
We were actually introduced by mutual friends, so I was cool with the girl and he was cool with the guy. But I was also cool with the guys who they were together in a relationship. So it was like once we got the ball rolling, we did like group things, and we were always hanging around each other, and it was like a consistent like 2 weeks every weekend doing something, hanging out. And I think it took about 2 weeks before we decided that we wanted to be in.
Wow. See, we took what we said, 3 to 6 months.
I mean, yeah, that's normal.
That's normal, right?
Yeah, no, that's normal.
But that's not true.
No, we didn't say.
I'm saying that because you was my girlfriend the first day I met you.
That's that
You
close.
just-
I didn't know it. I just didn't know it yet. All right.
But when did y'all become mutual in that decision?
The second day.
The second
She funny. She was like, you're mine, and that's it.
Yes. Well,
Mine took 6 months on the phone. We didn't even see each other.
Oh,
When he was in Virginia, I was in New Jersey, and we both gone through a divorce, so that might be a situation. And it's not because of anything besides distance. Because I've known him since he was throwing rocks at me when we were like 8. But
That's not boy show love.
I can't call it. I can't call it. They hurt. So, but how long with you, Karen?
It was a couple of 3-4 dates, whatever. I don't know. But he was in love like most men are. I don't know why, but I want to marry you. You stupid. That's why. How about that? take a little more time than 2 or 3 days
To get to know a
to
person?
get to know a
A
person.
little bit? Okay. The next question is, she's here now, so we're going to ask her questions. Okay. It says, an argument is always about what, no, we already asked that question. It hurts the most when the person who makes you feel so special yesterday can also make you feel so unwanted today. What do you think about that statement?
To be true.
I agree. It's not good to make somebody feel a certain way because you want them to feel that way, but then later you make them feel like they're not worthy, or they're not special enough anymore because you're going through something or you're arguing or whatever. I feel like one thing you shouldn't do in a relationship is when you're arguing, and I can't say it's not going to happen because sometimes it does, because you be so much in a heated relationship, so stuff comes out your mouth that you don't mean. But as you grow and get older and you learn that you sit there and you look, you've been together for like us, we've been together how long, babe?
9 years.
When our anniversary?
No, she's not. Like,
Nice. On the spot.
Yes. Yes. But like if you're in a relationship, yeah, of course. But when you in a relationship, and as you grow in a relationship and you get older and you get a little, more mature in it, you understand that it's hard. But if you understand each other, you try not to push that button, hit below the belt. You upset and we angry. We already know that. We already mad about something. So let's stay on that topic. Let's not go off the topic and be like, oh yeah, but you. No, let's stay there, because then later you want to hug and kiss and talk and try to come back from something that you said that you didn't mean, and you want to make the whole thing better, and it's not going to work.
But that's taught.
Right,
That's
it's taught.
taught.
Right, that's why.
Relationship.
That
Time.
exactly.
'Cause,
Communication.
yeah, communication. That's one, and also, you know your mate's buttons. You know how to hit below the belt. That's going to hurt them, because at the moment you probably feeling something that, for we can speak for ourselves. I can speak for myself.
Yeah.
If I feel like she got something to hide from me or something like that, I'm gonna throw her under the bus. Just so she could feel hurt, like I'm feeling hurt. You know what I mean? But I had to learn, like, that ain't healthy. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna keep waking up in a man cave. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the doghouse. You understand what I mean? But you wind up saying things that you don't mean. That's one. And then you're sorry. How sorry are you?
how many sorries? How many sorries can a person take?
Can I say something that I don't remember if I read it? Probably read it. But it was like
A little louder, Shana.
a father noticed that his son had anger issues, and he would say things, wherever. So what he started to do was, they had a wooden fence in the backyard, and every time that he would say something or he would get mad, he would make the son put a nail in the fence. Mm-hmm. So every time the kid started to notice that, wow, there's a lot of nails in the fence, so he started to, calm himself down. And every time the father saw the son, using alternative ways of getting his point across and not getting as mad, he would let him take one out. So now it got down to the last nail, and all the nails were out. And the father said, I'm glad that you learned how to deal with your anger and your issues, but the fence still has all these holes that you can't take back because you already, did it.
Damage is done already.
Yeah, whatever you said and did is already happened, and you can change your actions, but you can't take back what you did.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Good. I like that.
Right.
That was nice.
Once it's out, it's out.
Yeah. I like that. Lawrence said, I believe what's most important is having a healthy relationship. To having a healthy relationship is compromise. Agreed?
I feel like my point is, compromise is not always 50-50. Like, compromise is whatever 80-20 on his part, for one thing, and situation, and then 80-20 on my part, and then some things where we can compromise is 50-50. Like,
You gotta find your medium.
Absolutely.
You gotta
but the
find
medium is not always in the middle.
Right.
That's what
That's
people
true.
get it confused.
You got 60, 40, 50.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
28, 10, 90. You know, because you mature during your relationship, during your time of growth. Like, I'm not the woman that when she first met me. I'm not her no more, totally. You know, so in time, things do change, you know. People change for good, some change for bad. But that's whatever road they go on. I change for good. And don't sweat me, shorty.
Okay. This is for Pat. Relationships are worth fighting for, but you can't be the only person fighting.
Facts.
Why?
Well, because you gotta be wanted too. You gotta feel loved. You gotta feel needed. Everybody wants to feel that. No, I don't care how severe you are, how much you make your own money, and you can pay all your bills. And I don't need you. I don't need you. That's bullshit. Pardon my French, but that's bull. Because if you don't come to this the medium with your person, it's like, what are we fighting for? What, you know, you don't want me, so I don't want you. I can't want you more than you want me. You know what I'm saying? We gotta want each other equally. Like, damn, I'm in lust with my wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm in love with my wife. You know, that I don't see myself without her. You know what I mean? Like, when I wake up, I want to smell her funky ass breath. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my God, you and Kareem live somewhere close. You just say that stuff to me. Go ahead.
I mean, she pulls the covers away. I'm cold. I pull the covers away. She cold. You know, I wake up in the middle of the night. I put cover on her, feeling like she cold. She throw it off because she hot. But it's just like, you know, when you're made, y'all both gotta want that though. You know what I mean? I don't care. I'm walking past pretty women, all kind of crazy shit. She can see people all the time. She always at the club. But I gotta trust that we good. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no insecurity bone in my body no more. No more. Let me say that. That I can say, go, babe, go have fun. Be with your friends, go enjoy yourself. You know, and I don't feel no way. I tell her, you keep calling me for what? You're messing up my show. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. Because I don't need to be
He said
on
don't
your
mess
mind.
up nobody's show.
Now I gotta rewind. You know, I'm just like, can I answer that? I'm like, hey, when you get in here, we'll talk about it.
She calls me too. Don't let that play.
I don't even be knowing my phone at half the time.
Whoa, he has a good question.
First,
First,
in her hand. Y'all see that? Thank you.
Devin said, being honest and communication is very important. If you don't tell me what's wrong, how am I supposed to fix it?
Facts.
Indeed.
Exactly.
And Joseph said, I think sacrifice is an important asset to a relationship. Agreed. If both are sacrificing. Okay. Larry said, can a verbal argument escalate into a physical violence?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It can.
I don't want to tell you about my first 21 years.
It can.
It can.
It can.
She beats me.
It can.
Oh, I was a
I do
witness.
not.
No, I'm not.
Oh, wow.
I do not condone violence in a relationship.
Uh-oh. She was feeling like she needed to communicate that.
Oh, now you want to communicate? No. So if anybody else want to
We have some more.
also, you can call in if you would like to. Again, the number 347-248-6281. We would like to hear from you. We also reading a lot of comments, and thank you all
for your comments.
for your
Thank
comments. We're trying to answer everything.
you. Wait a minute. He said, "That's my point about compromise." That's what Larry said. Hey, Brianna. How you doing, sweetie? Another one of the comments was.
Oh, I was like, what is that? It's this little doggy dog.
Oh, Penny wants to be on camera.
Come up, doggy. Come up, doggy.
Relationships with your animals.
It says if you let
Relationships with
it can be. You are in control of you. You can always walk away instead of choosing to put your hands on someone. Okay, let me, yeah. Because not going into my background because that might
scare some
make
of
people
y'all.
not like me anymore. But I had a very, very volatile relationship. It was kind of fuck a fight, you know? And unfortunately, I was raised in a situation where after my mother went through some things, everything was violent with her mate. So that is what I saw. My father was the complete opposite. I lived with him. But when I visited my mom on the weekends, it was, if he didn't do what she wanted, she punch him in the face, and it just started body rocking from the time they got up to the time they ended. Unfortunately, they were going through their own demons. Like I said, I lost my brother at the time. And when I got into my first husband, when I got into that relationship, when he said something, I didn't like it, smack him in the face. That's what you do. You don't like what I said, smack him in the face. So he fought with me. I got to my next husband, and he said something, and I went to like rear back. He was like, listen, if this is what's going to be, I'm good. I'm out. And I had to reevaluate. Not everything needs to come to violence, but you have to unlearn those things, because I don't know anybody who has a temper problem that thinks that using your hands is a resort who can just stop it. It takes time to get to there. For me, I'm not speaking for anybody else and their violent tendencies.
What if you have a person, not to cut you off,
No.
what if you have a person that wants you to hit them? Because I was in a relationship like that,
That's
where
fine.
if I didn't smack her or punch her, I don't love her.
You don't love her. That's her own insecurity.
Yeah.
Those are the things that she was, like I was
I ain't
dealing
gonna
with.
lie. I tried it a few times, like, bang, but then I was like, wait, this ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? Because me being me, like, damn, I was in an abusive relationship. I don't want to be slapped off GP, like, you made the right strong, or why the dinner ain't freaking hot, or whatever. Why you ain't got on what I told you to wear, or why you came in late. Ain't nobody got time for that. Now you want me to beat you too, and then fuck you.
Yeah, that's not.
You got
wow.
you got a black eye and shit, and I'm like, you all right? Maybe you all right there. She's like, no, not me.
She was just freaky on it.
No, that bitch was out of this world. She was crazy.
Joy, did you hit somebody with a car, or you telling on me?
Oh.
I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie. Joy, speak up. Are you telling on me, or did you do that? Because we can. So I'm asking.
No snitching now.
Word. Plead the 7th, if that's a number. Don't know. Don't want to talk to her right now because I just told on her business. Okay. So, Devin said, but you chose to smack him in the face is my point. Yeah, I did choose it. I did. But being honest, it was all I knew. Not because I thought it was right, but it was my natural reaction because that's what I saw in my house. It was nothing to just punch him in the mouth and ask him if he wanted something to eat for dinner. Like, it was, look, I admit to my faults. I do. David said, I saw Joy message. She needs prayer. Joy, you need prayer. She said I did hit somebody. Sorry.
Okay, I want to read something.
Go ahead on.
Remember that no relationship is a total waste of time. Y'all can chime in on this. Remember that no relationship is a total waste of time. Learn something about yourself and why you want to be in this relationship and what you can get out of the relationship besides sex. What you think?
I feel like that's the same thing as people come into your life for a reason.
Reason
or season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, either you learn something, like you said, about yourself or about the world or what you want or what you don't want, and maybe that relationship don't work, and then you know what you're taking into the next relationship. Like, I feel like it's like school. Like, you're in the 3rd grade, you learn everything that you need to learn. In the 3rd grade, you take it to the 4th grade, you learn some more.
Mm-hmm.
You move and you take it to the 5th grade, you know everything, So it's a trial and error kind of. But a lot of people don't learn, and that's why they say men ain't shit or women ain't whatever.
That's all right.
Because they're not changing the kind of person that they're chasing after or that they're going to be with, because they didn't learn in the last relationship.
But some people have types too.
True.
Yeah. You go for what you know. And like a lot of men, I have all brothers, so I can say this. All the men that But my brothers chased women like my mom. I got one that like big women. I got one that want a homebody woman. I got one that want the street life. My mom was all of the above. So I watched that growing up. And then like with me, I was like, I don't want a mom. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the mama love like that. Like I've been there, I had that, done it. You know, be yourself. But I noticed that about men. They go after their mother's ways and they look for that type. And they try to incorporate it into their women. Like, oh, my mom would have cooked this for me. Or my mom would have made my bed. Or she ain't tell me about my dirty clothes. Why are you bitching about it? You know what I mean? Like, it's just different things that when you come into a relationship that, you know, you got to eliminate, leaving the past, or you're going to keep being repetitive and bringing it to this relationship, bringing the same drama to this relationship, you know. And I thought that I was going to do that too with Mona. But I said, nah, this something got to change. You know what I'm saying? This is whatever I was doing, let me do the opposite. How about that? And let me see how it works. And we got to 9 years, so I must be doing something right.
Well, they say the key to a new relationship is being present and leaving whatever was in the past in the past. Brianna said, it's also about trust. I want to give you trust, not jump down your back about who, what, when, where, why, and how. And unfortunately, oftentimes we don't trust people because we don't trust ourselves. Not saying that we're going to go cheat or anything that way, or we're going to disrespect your name. But we don't trust that the person we gave our love to is going to do exactly what we feel is right towards us. And that's where trust becomes a problem.
And trust is also something that you take from prior relationships.
Absolutely.
My ex did this, and when he did this, and that meant that, and when he did this, and that meant that. And then when I start seeing that, okay, you're doing these same things, it may, you know, not be the same thing, but in my mind, it just brings me back to that time where that was what it was, you know, like that was.
That's kind of hard sometimes because when you get in a new relationship, and you left an old relationship, or if you just go to new relationship, you always get in a new relationship and you think about that old relationship because you're like, I don't want that like this. I don't, you know. And then when your new mate is acting the same way, you like, wait a minute. So now you start pulling back, and they be like, babe, what's wrong? You know. So it's really hard. You know, it's hard. But when you, like you said, when you communicate with your mate and y'all talk and sit down, not yelling, not screaming, you know, really sit down. Or like Chavez said, write a letter. If you know that person is not gonna receive what you're giving them or talking to them, and you feel like, let me write you this letter. Maybe you could sit down, think about it, and be like, oh, okay. And then we could come back and sit down and talk. If that's a better way to do it, I agree. I've done that. Write a letter, say something, and then later we could sit down and discuss it without arguing and yelling, and you're not hearing what I'm saying, I'm not hearing what you're saying.